Right. Let's carry on. Um, I clearly have nothing better to do than stand around or basically
Yeah.
even just collapse section by section,
Ooh.
probably just
Yeah.
due probably just due to inattention, right, to my balance
Oh
or
yeah.
anything. Just section by section, just sort of collapse into kind of a big sprawl, um, which kind of just lies there with whatever whatever angle, an arm might be kind of sticking up or something like that.
Yeah. And oh, I'm imagining, a carrion bird like lands on your hand and tries to tear off some meat and just dies.
Right,
Uh,
right,
ants come up and are carrying it back to their anthill, and the anthill, it dies like carrying poison
right,
back.
right.
The whole grove. Oh, actually, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So this beautiful
Oh,
grove.
really? I'm stinking up the grove, am I?
Any place, you might have fallen across the roots of, a
Well,
particularly
especially where I've
beautiful
bled.
tree. Yeah, yep. Uh, so you've bled, this trail of corruption in, and then also the tree is like kind of wicking up
Right, right,
some of this rot, and and now in the middle of the grove there are like two or three trees that are just
right.
blackened and withered. Um, yeah. Okay. So like two days pass. No one arrives at the grove, just animals, it's silent but for the sounds of nature, and emerging from her sanctuary, the dark master appears. um she is uh uh she is holding one of her hands, in the other hand, like clutching it close to her as she comes out. And as she, looks around and sees these dead trees, and this poison possibly spreading to this entire place, there's, a sorrow that passes over her face, hurt, and also, after that, determination. And she says, to herself, the Dark Master, it's an invitation to monologue, right? uh uh the time is running short. I do not have forever, to exact my punishment. She says, 2 days and still no sacrifice. 2 days and still they have not brought me Ikarios. And she says, slave, arise. And she, kicks the hand that's sticking out. She's like, up, sleepyhead. Um, and you do your,
Oh, I
your
stand
big,
right up.
yeah,
One big smooth motion that kind of reaches an end point of immobility.
yes. And she says, this this vengeance of mine, is corrupting my grove. Uh, you go, tonight. Uh, it is nearly the harvest time. It is the season of marriages. Do you go tonight? Uh, uh, she says, to the west, there is a large farm. To the south, several small holdings. She names, we'll say, four large agricultural producers, not Icario's house. Says, go pollute their fields, rot their grain, and when they wake in the morning, let them see only starvation staring back at them. And she just because I want to work this detail in, she directs you, to a farm that's past Icarios's homestead. So you pass the house, um, at some point on this mission, and you see Athena standing on the roof of Icarios' house. Uh, you shall not pass. This house is under my protection, in that cold moonlight. Uh, and yeah, but that's your mission, is to pollute these fields and destroy their harvests.
So I'll head past that house, um, and perhaps stop and stare at Athena for no reason for some time,
Hmm.
um, and continue onward. And as I go onward, my fetid, you know, exhalations. Well, that's not the right word. I don't exhale. Emanations. Proceed. The wound continues to drip what appears to be an inexhaustible supply of
Hmm.
messiness, and I'm stepping in it, and so therefore my footprints will
Yeah.
will splat into things, and I will start proceeding through those very fields. So I do begin to carry out the command. So there go the cards, I imagine.
Yeah. For opposition, I've got a king of diamonds,
Ooh.
a jack of spade of clubs, a five of spades. And for your first card, I have a three of diamonds. And I think there's actually a bit of narration that happens here.
Well, I think the way it worked actually was that I say how I'm starting to do it, then you describe something that's trying to stop me,
Yep.
then you put out the three cards.
Yep. Um. So yeah, let's so that the first field, you go through you pollute it. Everything is withered. Um, but by the time you arrive at the second field, word has spread on the wind, to some of the nature spirits that these people revere. Um, and so as you approach, you are met by I don't know if the Greeks hedged, but we're in. So you're coming through the woods, and you encounter these brambles tearing at you and holding you back. The earth itself, you step into the earth, but instead of kind of I'm imagining that you interact with the earth a little bit like water. You almost swim through it, but you step in, and suddenly it kind of sucks up around your foot into mud, and so the earth itself is striving against you to protect itself and these people who offer it sacrifices.
They sacrificed me. Well, first of all, I'm struggling against it. So
Hmm.
and that's
Oh
my
yeah.
card,
Oh yeah.
right? But I remember, yes, they do offer sacrifices. That's why these spirits protect them. They they sacrificed me. I didn't want to, but they did it anyway. I don't remember why or what any of the circumstances were, but I do remember the sacred ritual in the field, and I remember that it was these very beings or entities or purposes that I was sacrificed for.
I love that. All right.
This
So
gives
three of
me my
diamonds is
three
going
of
into the hole.
diamonds.
protecting your ace of hearts just in
Yeah, because
case.
I suspect that that Jack and the King are not going to be very sympathetic. Right.
Five
So
of
here comes
hearts.
the five. Right. Um, so so that's my memory. And so I'm basically just striving as hard as I can to break through.
Mhm.
But apparently, as you will now describe,
Yes. So I'm gonna discard all the cards in front of me and then discard your three of diamonds. Um. Oh. Okay. Okay. So. Uh. To do something nasty to you. So these you can hear the whispers of these spirits all around you and hissing in your ear. One of you hear this voice from the utter dark saying, um, uh, uh, what would they call it? They say, Gorgon Goblin, your blood tastes familiar, for we have drunk it before, and we will drink it again. And then, these brambles, they're cutting into you, and the land sucks all of that poison out of
right,
you.
right,
You're kind of deflated
right,
onto,
right,
you look like, a deflated balloon over your bones. You become
right,
gaunter and
right,
more, and so the earth sucks this poison out and absorbs it. The area around you dies, but the fields are saved,
right.
uh, and you're forced to go back to the Dark Master in defeat, unable to overcome this resistance, um, and I think she weeps in rage as you return. Uh, she was actually awake. Sorry, are you? Am I misplaying something? I saw.
Huh, I must be very my poker face is obviously flawed. Um, I the thing I'm thinking of is I'm not. It's because I don't know whether you're remembering that when I fail a task, the Dark Maze Master does get what they want eventually, or in some
Yep,
other way.
I
So
am.
right,
Yes.
right, just making sure that you're not treating it as actually a true defeat for her. Neither of these have been truly a defeat for her. She
Y-
is making progress along her way, just not the way she wants.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
right.
Uh,
So, no, never mind. I'm just thinking about
no,
the
no.
game.
Thanks for
Mhm.
checking in. Yeah. Uh, so she's weeping, and she uh in rage, she strikes your chest with that hand that she was holding, and draws, and there's great pain there. Uh, and you see that her hand is actually uh, no longer is there any semblance of human skin. It's rotten wood.
Hmm.
And so she strikes your chest, and her fist shatters, and she clutches back uh, a stump. Uh, and she says, first, uh, first the bitch of Athens stymies me, and now these wretched fertility spirits. Uh, uh, she says these people will they will regret this. They will regret this. Um, I've got to think. I don't have forever. I don't have forever anymore to exact this revenge. She says, starting tonight, slave, prowl the earth of this region like a shark does the sea. Lone travelers, children wandering, anyone outside of the protection of hearth and home, break their bodies, kill. She might, she'll say, um, by by uh, uh, by uh, in 3 days' time, kill a score and bring their hands to me.
Ooh, yikes. All right. Well, this is very complicated. so,
I know.
I will set off to do it. The I think my methods are probably pretty clear by now. I mean, anybody in a
Mhm.
situation like you describe is vulnerable to me,
Yeah.
and I'm more than happy to suck down a resting traveler,
Mhm.
directly downward, or to you know uh, heave myself up from underneath a rolling wagon to tip it
Yeah.
over. And so I don't know. So I'll just keep working my way until I hit 20. I mean, what's the
Yeah.
opposition that I face?
It's that, people are already on very high alerts, and so you get there are a couple of vagrants, there are people outside of the social order who you can pick off right away, but people begin to withdraw into their homes, bar their doors, call upon what holy rituals they can to try to give you some
At the moment, I'm
resistance, and
kind of
so it might
wandering
become
around, not finding much. Right? Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Uh, but there's still on the other hand, there very well could be kids who wander out, or people who are
Let's
uh uh yeah,
let
yeah.
let me worry about what works for me.
I've got an 8 of diamonds for this is for resistance, 8 of hearts, 9 of clubs, and for your first card, 10 of hearts.
Well then, all right. Fairly straightforward. Um, so as you have said, there are some, the vulnerable left are the ungovernable, children who are the ones who are out on tasks perhaps that, take them longer to get home. So I'm basically, lurking behind boulders and on the hillsides, um, as some
Yeah,
of them, come into view. But
yeah.
uh, but yes, I am going to recall how uh, I'm going to recall how you know huh, is it Icarios or Macarios?
Uh, Icarios is the son, who is the object of the nymph's rage, and then Macarios is his father,
Right,
his
got it.
aged
Okay,
father.
got it.
Yeah,
Okay, so um, I recall when Macarios was young and how he had distinguished himself in the local competitions, and whatever violent conflicts may have come toward us here. I remember him. I remember him when he was a young man, just becoming recognized as perhaps a warrior, perhaps someone who should be, doing something more grand or something more, symbolically important than uh, just being, here with the farms, and that the the day when Athena claimed him and I formally gave him over to her. Was, and I remember now that back when I did that.
Ooh. All right. That is the 10 of hearts in your hole. And ace of spades
Ah,
for your next card.
oh, so even after remembering that, right, I go ahead and take by the end of the night, I have persevered and have taken out 20.